Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Duskmourn draft here on the channel. We're going to dive on in, go pick by pick, and play by play, talking through everything so you know what to do when you draft this format yourself. Okie doke. Our rare is not playable. The problem is it just takes a long time, and then you get to cast a couple instants and sorceries, so it's like a very, very slow draw spell, but you're still limited by the mana you have available. Fear of Isolation is really good, though, as is Nowhere to Run, two pretty good removal spells. And I really like Fear of Being Hunted as well, a good combo with Most Valuable Slayer in red. The commons largely are bad in this pack, except for Monstrous Emergence. The other ones I'm like, okay, most of these would generally wheel. So you can get like these cards normally wheel, this card normally wheels, this card normally wheels, Grab the Prize often wheels, Emerge often wheels. So nothing crazy. So I think it's mostly between Fear of Being Hunted and Fear of Isolation. I'm going to go with the Fear of Being Hunted. I think it leads to some really good decks and a lot of powerful strategies. I could take Fear of Isolation. I think they're both good options, but I prefer having these like red proactive decks. And a little bit of a reward here. As we see Razorkin Horde Caller, second pick. That's a pretty solid card as well. If I had taken the Fear of Isolation, I could maybe go for a Gremlin Tamer. Rootwise Survivor is also pretty reasonable. Hand That Feeds might wheel. Clockwork might wheel also. But I think Razorkin Horde Caller sticking with red for a little bit is pretty solid here. Okie doke. Now we see this is the best card in the pack by a wide margin, I believe. Brood Spinner. Just absolutely devastating in the late game. Also really good on turn 2, so kind of a dream combo. There's Untimely Malfunction, which I don't love. There's also Savior of the Small, which is fine. Could just try to go aggro and take like Fear, but I don't think that's good from a power level perspective. Keybearer is a good card as well in some decks, though. It's a little finicky. It doesn't block very well, which is kind of important. Take the Brood Spinner. And now we're maybe moving towards blue because Floodpit's Drowner is pretty nice. There's also Painter's Studio. I could just take that for my red cards. I'm very tempted to do that. Tunnel, Teddy. I mean, the commons are nothing exceptional here. Tunnel's fine. Cheerleader's fine. Shard Mage's Rescue can be pretty good. Anything that buffs up Fear of Being Hunted is nice. So, like, equipments are pretty solid with it and stuff. I think Floodpit's Drown is pretty nice, but I'm just going to take Painter's Studio here. Seeing some blue cards, seeing some white cards. This is more of a blue-white card. You don't really want it outside of blue-white, I don't think. I could have had a pretty good blue-white deck here, I think. But I just think I'm going to take Hand That Feeds over Disturbing Mirth, I think. I could take Disturbing Mirth and try to go for a sacrifice strategy. I don't think I'll miss Hand That Feeds as much as I'll miss Disturbing Mirth in a sacrifice deck. Now I could take Clockwork Percussionist to go with my sacrifice synergy. Or Ragged Playmate as just a general aggro card. I'll take the Playmate and try to get Percussionists a little bit later. Seeing some white cards still, so that's a good sign maybe. Okay. This is a super late Spineseeker Centipede. Pick 7? Crazy. Ripper is pretty good in the sacrifice deck. Fear of Lost Teeth is good in a sacrifice deck. But if I end up trying to draft red-green, I'm going to really miss Spineseeker. That card is a beast. Oh, I almost said literally, but it's not literally a beast. It's an insect. But I'll take the Monstrous Emergence now. 2 good green cards in a row. I'm a big fan of red-green, and I think this is coming together. Literally every card I expected to wheel, pretty much. I thought someone might take this card because people take rares sometimes. But, I mean, just like for the heck of it. But, like, these cards are kind of the expectation. I'm just going to take the black card. Get the Jund colors a little bit more open. Actually, I'll just take the rare. I never play Cackling Slashers, and I'll just take the Tail of Tameo because it builds your collection, fills the vault a little faster. Do I have one of those collections with like 1,000 unused wild cards? Yes, I do. Here I'm going to take Hand That Feeds. I think this is just a nice 2-drop for your red-green decks. And now I get a Bashful Beastie, which I think is better than Long Neck. Anthropede or Glimmerlight. I kind of want to keep trying Glimmerlight. Anthropede's pretty reasonable, though. Late Horrid Vigor. Okay. This pack, I think, is another pretty clear Spineseeker Centipede. This card is just an absolute beating, really good card, and one that I'm happy to take. Also, if you do see me answering random questions, it's because I'm streaming this live on Twitch. So I'm answering questions from Twitch chat that I see. So I'm trying to make sure it's obvious when I'm answering a question. Here, this is a pretty easy Spineseeker over a Rootwise Survivor, over Impossible. So that would be my 1, 2, 3 in this pack. I do think you can win games with... oh, this is the other room. Though this is pretty reasonable. Because if you have a lot of rooms, then you get to double them all up. If you do get to the late game. So, kind of a cutesy build around. I thought this was the one that's a WinCon room card, which is also pretty good. If you're going all in on rooms, you can actually win the game with it. Okay, I think Hand That Feeds is going to wheel. I'm going to take Monstrous Emergence. Trial of Agony is a weird one. I don't love it. Chooses one, you deal 5 to 1, and the other one can't block. It's kind of like you kill their worst creature a lot of the time, which isn't great, even though it only costs 1 mana. And if they only have 1 creature, you can't do anything. I think these Hand That Feeds are going to wheel. I might take Patchwork Beastie. I think Patchwork is going to be really good in this deck. I do want to fill my graveyard to enable things like Hand That Feeds and like buff up my Spineseekers. And I think it can actually be pretty good, even in the mid game. So I think this is going to be better than the Playmate. And I also think having Hand That Feeds and Playmate increases the odds that Hand wheels. Horrid Vigor also might wheel, and this card's pretty reasonable as well. Infernal Phantom, not my favorite card in this archetype. I don't have enchantments. I mean, you don't have enchantments. I mean, I have 3. Huh. Like, I don't have consistent. I have 1, 2, 3, and I'm not even playing that one. Do I have a video about the best emote loadout? No, I do not. Seeing some black red cards. I'm just going to take the Playmate. It's good for getting Delirium. It's pretty useful in the late game as a 2-drop. Sorry. So I'm just going to take this. This card's okay, but not crazy. Not my favorite card here. The 4-mana mode. You have to mill 2 permanents for it to work. I'm just gonna take Turn Inside Out. Friendly Teddy is also like a card you can play, but I don't love it. Boiler Bilge's Ripper. I think 1 copy of this can usually be useful, even when you don't have like dedicated stuff for it. Actually, I'm just gonna take the Branch Snapper though. I think one of these just smooths your deck out a little bit. Now I'll take Frantic Strength over say its name. And over the Ripper. Hand That Feeds coming back around late. This is the card that like maybe is the biggest discrepancy between how much I like it and everyone else likes it. Pyroclasm's great against me, but not great for me. We wield Rootwise Survivor. Well, that's kind of wild. Huh. I wouldn't mind an Impossible Inferno. I think Survivor's better, though. Maybe we'll try this out for science. Keep in mind, we're only 2 packs in. This card's really good, but we're not that color. This is just a really good Scorching Dragonfire. I love this card. Diversion Specialist is also solid. Just good in any deck, but especially black-red. I could have had a pretty good black-red deck, maybe. I think the Disturbing Mirth pick was good. It's just, I then saw good green cards. Like, I got the late Spine Seekers. So I think I'll end up getting rewarded for my red-green in this pack, probably. Huh. So, Defiant Survivor versus Piggy Bank. I really just want to take Piggy Bank. Survivor's a heck of a card. I just like this as an artifact creature that trades and helps me like ramp up my mana. And Survivor's good, but it's kind of hard to connect with sometimes. Easily taking another Piggy Bank here. And now there's Manifest Red.
The Legend.
Potato Skis, thank you so much for the support. 44 months. That's so long. It's like staggering. Like I can't even conceptualize it. It's crazy. Thank you so much for the support. I'm going to take Manifest Red. Helps me fill my graveyard and get all my stuff turned on. And then Violent Urge might wheel, though I'm not counting on it or anything. Also, the difference between Violent Urge and Turn Inside Out is not as big as you'd think. I'm just going to take Turn Inside Out. And now the Watchdog is green-white guy. I wasn't going to splash in this deck. I do think that green-white is okay, but I'm not really planning on splashing. And now I have 8 2-drops that I'm pretty happy with, so that's good. Beastie's looking good. Gonna cut Found Footage. Trial of Agony. I'm gonna take the Percussionist. It's pretty good with Turn Inside Out. Beastie. I could take Bear Trap or the Teddy. I don't think I need Teddy. Or Bear Trap, honestly. I don't have a lot of sorceries. 3. Got some haste at the top end, which is pretty nice. Don't really need Cryptid, but I guess I'll take it. Still have some cuts to make. I have a lot of combat tricks. 5 combat tricks is probably too many. Okay. Got to land because I have 2 land cyclers. Cut a bashful beastie because I'm not going too high on the curve. Then cut horrid vigor. And the Doge. The Doge. I like Frantic Strength in this deck. So I'll try it like this for now. And I'll see you folks in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Because of Patreon support from viewers like you, I'm able to make more high quality videos on a consistent basis, which is great. As a patron, you gain access to cool rewards like my card by card tier list for each set, where I grade each card on an A through F scale, as well as my format thoughts document, where I go into more detailed analysis on cards, my big picture thoughts on the format, and how I'm approaching things so you can find more success in your own drafts. I want to give a special shout out to those patrons who support at the credits level. It really does make a big difference. And without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1. We'll keep this. We do need more creatures, but our deck has mostly creatures in it. Okay. Nice. Mm-hmm. Pretty happy with how that turned out. So if I mill a land, then the beastie turns on as a creature. Or an instant, perfect. I wasn't sure on that turn if I was just supposed to use the +1/+0 portion of the card. I was hoping to hit a land here. That seems way too slow. This card's always so confusing to cast. So they're just dead, right? They make the demon, I play this guy. Got the win. Welcome to another round. We're keeping this hand. It's a bit sketch, but it's okay. Hate to see it. We're just gonna hope they don't have a trick. That is the combo. Okay, we'll just go next. We did not draw a spell that entire game, which makes it really hard to win. Welcome to another round. Great hand. Turn 2 piggy bank is all you need to do. This card's a heck of a card, though. Okay. Not as good in red-white, but that was still a really good curve out. This is tough. Trade this for this. Forcing them to trade their guy with my guy is kind of weird, but this card's so good. Like next turn they could play the percussionist, use this, put a counter on the percussionist. It's a problem. I really wish I had a land so I could play this and something else. crazy aggressive attack. This attack could leave me dead. Okay, so they're dead now. If they attack with both, yeah. Turn inside out's gonna get them. They just had the not attack with the Slayer. Leave him back as a blocker. Got the win. Whew. Nice. Welcome to another round. We'll keep this easily. Big fan of the piggy bank. Just need to keep as many things back that can trade with Cartographer. Yikes. Okay. This is a weird game. Really want to kill this thing. They're not that close to Delirium, though. Start using the Playmate to get through some attacks. Get some 1-1s rolling. Do I ever play around, hold back to play around AoE? Not really, no. AoE is like board wipes. Area of effect. I mean, I sometimes do, but like not in this spot. If they had a board wipe, they'd kill all their own stuff too. Sure. Synergy, I guess. Mm-hmm. Wait, could I have killed them for 8, 11, 14, 16? No, I could not have. Maybe I was supposed to attack with everything and they were just dead. Got the win. I think if I attacked with everything that one turn, I would have won. They didn't have enough blockers to block everything. I don't think. Close one. Nice win. See you next round. Welcome to another round. This is an interesting hand. It's an easy keep. Just Beastie or this on turn 1. I think I'm going to lead with Beastie. With a couple of good mills, I could get it active pretty quickly. Especially if Piggy Bank trades off. I'm going to land cycle here, and then I just need to flip a land. This will be on. Sure. Pretty good for me. That's why I like the frantic strength. If I draw a land, I'm in such good shape. let's just say that luck was not really on my side here. I've got quite a few good draws there. Not only did I not mill something relevant, I didn't draw a land either. Either milling a land or drawing a land would have been good there, and I did neither. They have some real junkers in their deck. Okay. That's not great for me. You hate to see it. I almost could kill them. I was 1 point off. Got the win. Come to another round. We have another good one. Red-white. I face red-white a lot. Sure. That was just about the worst possible outcome. Also, I should have only attacked with one of these guys. So they don't have +2/+2, at least not right now. So this is a block that leaves them dead anyway. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got him. Another round, easy keep. Don't have double red yet, but that'll be okay. A part of me really doesn't want to attack, so they can't use their kill spell for tapped creatures. But then the other part of me was like, oh, they could just have a normal kill spell, like murder, because they had the mana for it. I'm going to hold up Dragonfire over the studio, over playing to gallery. This is a rough spot, potentially. They play a big creature here, I'm in trouble. I'll take it. Mhm. Irritating that they killed the good one. Both of us seem to have really clunky draws right now. Yep. Oh, that was a rough draw. Really rough. Man. Imagine if they just killed the other Manifest Dread creature. I could have actually been fine there. Because then they would have blocked and my guy would have been big enough. Gosh. Come, we will keep this hand on the play. We don't have a forest yet, but Piggy Bank can get us there to cast our Patchwork Beastie while we wait for other stuff. I'm potentially hitting them for a bajillion damage next turn. I already have Artifact Creature. If I mill a unique type, I can Monstrous Emergence, kill something, hit them for 7. I will actually do this. It's good mana efficiency and lets me get an extra point of damage in because that way I don't waste the single mana. And now I have plenty of mana to use on my spells and everything. Oh man, I didn't quite do the math. I just figured I'd be close. I didn't realize I was 1 point off. I still think the line was correct, obviously, but I didn't realize I was 1 point off. They need 4 blockers, flash removal spells, because of the hand that feeds his menace. Okay. Next turn I can play the Horde Caller, which should be good enough. Oh my gosh, that is brutal. If their last card is a spell, I'm going to cry. Okay, so they're dead. Menace for the win. That was a close one. Well, we are headed to the final round, 6-2. Feels good. I will see you folks there. Welcome to the final round. We have a good hand. Not the greatest hand ever, but 2-drop, 3-drop Beastie as a top-end threat. It's just such an easy way to win games when you just, like, do this. You just kill their guy, you have a huge threat way ahead of schedule. Uh-oh. This card is messed up. Oh, terrifying. So the reason I did that is because I really want to get artifact creature in my graveyard so that this Patchwork Beastie can attack. And also because I want them to have less creatures, so Menace is less of an issue. I mean, so they can't block my Menace guy as well. If they don't have an enchantment this turn, they're in trouble. Gosh darn it. Oh my gosh. That would have won me the game. Oh my gosh. The tilt. Oh man. It easily could have been the second card down too. It's like... Well, I'm deeply suspicious. So they have the 1 mana enchantment. Or jump scare. Gosh, my deck just does not have a ton of removal, and it's going so badly because of that. I can't beat Gremlin Tamers. We were close. If we had drawn this Monstrous Emergence that one turn, we would have won. Kill their Gremlin Tamer. Okay, so they do have that. Okay. They did have the jump scare. I guess I should have done the math and realized I couldn't beat jump scare. Yep. Turns out Gremlin Tamer, when you can't kill it, is pretty good. Oh well, 6-3 is not the worst record in the world. Pretty reasonable. Gosh, we were so close to winning that game. I guess I should have blocked the turn before, but I still would have lost. Anyway, pretty good record. I don't think I really regretted any of my choices. Horrid Vigor would have maybe been good against the Gremlin Tamers with their first strike, but other than that, nothing really crazy. I would have definitely sideboarded in Bear Trap and Horrid Vigor against their deck, but that's why best of 3 is just a little bit worse than best of 1, because you want to be able to get a sense of things and sideboard accordingly. But honestly, pretty good deck. The games we lost were a little bit tough, but overall pretty good. If you made it to the end of the video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag bank, because piggy banks were pretty good, and getting 6-3 feels like you're getting a nice solid deposit into the bank. Bit of a stretch there, but that's how we'll do it this time. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you next time.